Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. Today's episode comes to you courtesy of one of my incredible patrons, Joshua. Thank you again, Joshua, for all of your incredible support. I truly could not do this without you. And with this episode, with the personalized deck tech, Joshua chose Inti, Seneschal of the Sun. Such a spicy and amazing budget commander that is so good. A 2/2 human knight for 2 mana in red. Again, just $1.66 for this gem. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a counter on target attacking creature. It gains trample until end of turn. Or discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card of your library. Play that card until your next end step. So this is such a spicy commander essentially that says, hey, you know what we're going to be doing? Well, whenever we attack again with anyone, does not have to be our tiny little 2/2 commander. Doesn't have to be. It can be early on in the game, obviously, or if there's an opening, we can discard a card and change that into value again, which is going to be a counter on a creature, giving it trample, helping it damage through, but of course also essentially turning those discards into impulse draw. Again, basically going, hey, you know what we're doing? We're losing out on 1 card. Again, it might be just a useless card that we don't need or something that we could utilize later, basically, but it's also one that goes, hey, you know what are we doing? Turning this into something else that we actually can use off the top of the library until our next end step. So again, even if this is on opponent's turn, essentially with any kind of a discard, yeah, we still get to utilize that card on our next turn. This is such a solid commander, such a fun and unique commander. Can't wait to tell you about all the tactics. Let's jump into them. First up, let's talk about some outlets. Molten Vortex is such a solid discard outlet for us, and a champ for just a single red mana. Get to play early. Pay a red mana, discard a land card, 2 damage to our creature or player. A great way to just start pinging things down. Either whether that's, again, creatures in play, we can take them out, we can control the board, or our opponent's faces as well. And again, turning those lands that we might not need at a certain point in the game, essentially into impulse draw. Utilize other cards off the top of our library. Tectonic Reformation, enchant for 2 mana. Each land card in your hand has cycling for a single red mana. So now turning those lands into card draw plus impulse draw. Basically, again, by cycling those cards away, going, yeah, not sure if I need that. Cool. Now I'm basically drawing 2 in a way. Again, 1 card permanently, 1 temporarily off the top of our library. This is absolutely insane. Or we can cycle it away if we need to. Land's Edge, such a weird old card, but an amazing one. Enchant World! It's an enchantment. For 3 mana in red, any player may choose and discard a card from their hand at any time. The player discards a land, 2 damage to target player of that player's choice. Basically, again, this does allow anyone to do this, us especially, again, but we built our entire deck around this card, utilizing this and being able to go, okay, discard whatever cards we want, again, turn those into impulse draw, but if we're already discarding lands, again, even more damage to faces, which of course can be deadly at a certain point. Seismic Assault, I love this card. Enchantment for 3 mana in red, discard a land from your hand, 2 damage to target creature or player. Yeah, a way to essentially, again, ping down creatures, ping down players' faces, again, all for free. Speaking of free, Patchwork Gnomes, discard a card, regenerate it. This is such a solid card because, again, it is a free discard outlet for us, helps us turn our dead cards in our hand into impulse draw for free, and also, again, it protects itself, and it can be a great blocker as well for us. Mindless Automaton, 0/0 construct for 4 mana, enters with 2 counters on it. By paying 1, you discard a card to get a counter on it, and by removing 2 counters from it, you draw a card. Again, turning our cards in our hand into both impulse draw as well as actual draw too from this. But of course with this as well, being able to go, you know what, whenever I need to, I can just start discarding things, slightly adjusting its power if I need to, can be a good blocker for us as well. Thunderhead Gunner though, a 4/5 Shark Pirate with reach for 5 mana in red. Discard a card, draw a card, only sorcery only once each turn. That's fine. It is a great way on our hand, essentially on our turn to go, hey, you know what, let's replace a card out of our hand, basically with 2 cards again, drawing a card, and also impulse drawing every single one of our turns. We already talked about some ways to get damage out there. Let's talk about even more, though, with Drainit Stinger, a 2/2 human wizard for 2 mana. Whenever you cycle another card, 1 damage to each opponent, and you can cycle away for just a single mana. So yeah, our cycles can go really far with this. Ivora, a 1/1 vampire with trample for 1 in a red. Hey, whenever it enters and deals combat damage to a player, you create a blood token, which again, helps us discard. Again, discard to draw. Whenever you discard a card, though, you also get a counter on this. Yeah, this can become absolutely massive in absolutely no time and just start smacking our opponents for a ton. Memory Worm, speaking of smacking our opponents, a 1/1 alien worm for 2 mana. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, 2 damage target player. That player discards a card, then draws a card, put a counter on Memory Worm. There are times when we can actually use this on ourselves if we absolutely need to. But also, hey, start pinging down opponents and forcing them to discard cards too. Unstable Amulet. Artifact for 2 mana. Enters battlefield, get 2 energy counters. Maybe cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. 1 damage each opponent. Yeah, that's going to be happening quite a bit. Again, exiling up the top of our library, that impulse draw play. And also, by the way, tap, pay 2. Exile the top card of your library. Play it with exile, basically. So, here we go. We got a way to actually get 1 piece card advantage out of this, which is nice. Layla, a 2/2 Spirit Warrior with haste for 3 mana in red. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of your library. Play it this turn. Again, being aggressive with this really helps us get extra impulse draw. On top of that, whenever one of our cards are put into exile from your library, enter your graveyard. Put a counter on Layla. Now, this is one that essentially goes, hey, what we're doing? We're going to be smacking our opponents for a ton, and we're also going to be getting a ton of counters on this. And also a lot of value. Magmakin Artillerist, a 1/4 elemental pirate for 3 mana in red. When you discard one or more cards, this creature is going to deal that much damage to each opponent. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of damage that is dealt throughout the game with this. You can also cycle it away. When you cycle it, 1 damage each opponent too. Then we've got Defiler of Instinct. This one is going to, well, help us out in multiple ways. 4/4 first strike. This costs cast red permanent spells. You may pay 2 life. It's going to cost red less cast for each life paid this way. And also, hey, by the way, yeah, it only reduces the amount of red mana. That's fine. It's going to help us reduce things, though. But then we have, whenever you cast a red permanent spell, 1 damage to any target, it's going to be happening quite a bit throughout the game and just pinging our opponents down. Finally, Invasion of Kaldheim. Enters battlefield, exile cards to your hand, draw that many cards. So your next turn, you can play those cards, exile this way. Again, basically mass impulse draw. Oh, and by the way, hey, when this is flips over, discard a land card, 2 damage to any target. Absolutely an amazing play. I already talked about some other ones that do that. Discard a land card, exile the top card of your library, play the turn, basically doubling up on our impulse draw advantage from lands too. What's not to love about this? Let's move on to our next tactic, though, talking about the pain game with this deck. The Roller Crusher Ride, a great example. A legendary enchantment for X and 3 mana in total in red. Base source, you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player. While there are 4 or more card types of cards in your graveyard, deals double that damage instead. Ouch. On top of that, when it enters, well, we're going to deal X damage to X target creature. So this can be removal for us, while also just basically being a damage doubler. It's quite easy for us to activate. Again, with all that discard that we have, we can get things going with this really quickly. Sawhorn Nemesis, 2/4 dinosaur for 4 mana. Enters the battlefield, choose a player. Hey, by the way, if a source would deal damage to the chosen player or permanent they control, double that up. Absolutely insane. Being able to go, hey, you're in trouble now. Everything is going to happen, and you're going to be in trouble. Emerald Hellion, a 4/5 Hellion trample. If a red source you control deal damage to a permanent player, deals that much damage +1. Again, we have so many different ways to ping opponents, essentially. This is so much extra damage throughout the game. Just even an extra 1, which is so much good. It's so great. Gratuitous Violence, though. If a creature control deal damage to a permanent or player, double that damage up instead. Yeah, these damage doublers, these extra damage effects are so much fun. Let's keep stacking them. One more. Ingress Marauders. If a source or control deal damage to a permanent or player, deals double that damage to a permanent player instead. Helps double up all of our things. Well worth that 7 mana. Such a solid investment for us. Take out opponents quite quickly. Next up, let's talk about some hits, though. Skeleton Key can really help us with hitting. Quick creature has Skulk. Okay, we get a small creature through. That's quite nice. Maybe we can help our commander get through for a trigger if we need to. On top of that, though, no quick creature deals combination of player. You may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Again, really helping with our game plan of getting extra discards and extra card advantage. There too. Zephyr Boots. Flying for an equipped creature. Yeah, some great evasion right there. Deals combination to a player. Draw a card, then discard a card. Again, another way to say, hey, you know what? Extra card advantage, extra impulse draw. Mask of Memory. Equipped creature deals combination player. You may draw 2 cards. If you do, discard a card. Again, yet another great way to dig down into our deck. Even more so. Yeah, extra card advantage. What's not to love about that? Next up, let's talk about some value cards in Value Town. A 1/4 Lizard Wizard. We got Party Thrasher for 2 mana in red. Non-creature spells you cast from exile have Convoke. Yeah, our creatures can help cast them now, which is absolutely fantastic. On top of that, beginning of our pre-combat main phase, we can discard a card. We will. And if we do exile the top 2 cards of our library, choose one of them, play a card this turn. Yeah, impulse draw, basically 2.5, kind of, let's call it, essentially, with this. Detectives Phoenix, a 2/2 Phoenix for 3 mana in red. Bestow for a single red mana, collecting some evidence. 6. Flying Haste, enchant creature gets +2/+2 as flying and haste. Again, some great evasion for one of our creatures creatures, again, helping with our commander's attack. May cast your graveyard with its bestow ability. Yeah, we can keep doing that again and again and again, getting a lot of things in our graveyard with all of our discard. Squee! Squee is here to stay, and then leave, and then stay, and then leave, and then stay, and then leave. A 1/1 goblin for a 3 mana in red. Give your upkeep, may return it from your graveyard back to your hand. A great repeat discard target for us. Absolutely amazing. Veronica can really help us out as well. 3/3 human artificer rogue for 3 mana in red. Menace. Attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Again, a great way to keep going and going and going, getting more card advantage, getting more impulse draw. Oh, and by the way, whenever you discard one or more nominated cards the first time each turn, you make a junk token, which you can tap to sacrifice an impulse draw, basically. Absolutely amazing to utilize throughout the game with this. Then Araxa, we've got a 5/4 alien warrior with trample and battle cry. Great way to pump our team. On top of that, whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other in your hand, you make a 2/2. Of course, we can flood the board quite quickly with something like this. Next up, extra. We are running into a tactic that will really help us ramp things up when it comes to value. Bag of Holding artifact for 1. When you discard a card, you exile from your graveyard. You can pay 2 tap, discard a card, when you're drawing one, which is great, good loading effect for us. Oh, by the way, though, by paying 4 and tap and sacrificing it, bring back all the cards exile with it back to the owner's hand, so we can actually basically say we have a storage, essentially, of those cards and gain them all back at once, which is absolutely incredible. Conspiracy Theorist is such a good card for this deck. Attacks, we can pay 1, discard a card. If we do, draw a card. Great for us. If we discard one of our nominated cards, we can exile one of them from our graveyard. If we do, we can cast it this turn. So yeah, even more value to be had. Containment Construct. Discard a card, exile a card from your graveyard, play it this turn. Cool. Awesome. Again, extra value to be had. Shadow the Goblin. End of your main phase. First main phase, I should say. Discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Again, free repeat card selection, while also getting, again, the extra impulse draw. So basically now, extra kind of card advantage too. Play a land or cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. 1 damage to each opponent. Again, extra damage stacking up everywhere. Undays Ravager, a 3/3 that attacks each combat of Fable. And when it does attack, we discard a hand, but we do draw 3 cards. So yeah, replace your hand, essentially. Draw 3 cards. And also, again, your impulse drawing with all those discards that you have, too. It's also got Madness for just 2 mana. Tursa, Light Shatter, 3/3 with haste. Enters, discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. Absolutely amazing. On top of that, when it attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard. Play that card this turn. Free value to be had. What's not to love about that? Neheb Dreadhorde Champion. Hey, yeah, we're going to be getting through some damage on this. 5/4 Trampler. Deals combat to a player or planeswalker. Discard any number of cards. Draw that many cards. Add that much red. And by the way, that mana stays until the end of the turn, basically. Absolutely incredible for us. A great way to cycle through and get so much mana advantage. Smellerbee, a 3/3 human rebel ally, first strike. Other creature control of haste. Already a great start right there again, helping us be really aggressive. On top of that, in this attacks, we can discard our hand. If we do, draw cards equal to the number of attacking creatures, which again can be quite a bit. Ox of Agonis enters the battlefield, discard our hand, draw 3 cards. We can also escape this to bring it back out again and again and again. Exiling 8 other cards from our graveyard. Again, we're going to be filling our graveyard again and again and again. Oh, by the way, it escapes with the counter on. It's going to be even more deadly. Lovely. Ruin Grinder, 7/4 Menace. When it dies, though, each player discard their hand and draw 7 cards. We can also mountain cycle it away if we really need to. And finally, Dragon Mage, 5/5 Flyer. Deals combat to a player. Everyone wheels, discards their hand, draws 7 cards. Yeah, a great way for card advantage plus impulse draw for us. When it comes to your more standard card advantage spells, let's talk about Faithless Loading, a great card for us. Draw 2, discard 2, flashback for 3 mana. Again, basically, additional impulse draw. What's not to love about that? Bitter Reunion, ETBs, discard 1 card, draw 2. You can also pay 1 to sacrifice it to give all your creatures haste, which is absolutely amazing. Demand Answers, instant speed for 2 mana, sacrifice an artifact or discard 1 card, draw 2. Thrill Possibility, basically the exact same thing. Discard 1 card, draw 2 at instant speed. And finally, Count on Luck, a great enchantment for us, just 3 mana. But give your upkeep, exile the top card of your library, and play that card this turn. Basically, free impulse draw for us every single one of our turns. When it comes to removal, first up, we've got a Braid, 3 damage to our creature, or destroy an artifact. You find some prisoner, destroy an artifact, or hey, you know what? Impulse draw off an opponent's library. Lovely. Exile the top 3 cards. One of them you get to play, and you can also spend mana any way you want to. Chaos Warp, get rid of something permanently. Well, kind of sometimes. Shuffles a permanent back to its owner's library. Then they reveal the top card, and all of a sudden, whatever it is, they get. Or don't. Chain Reaction, X damage to each creature, X the number of creatures on the battlefield. A great way to clear things out when you need to. Fiery Confluence, you may choose same mode more than once. 1 damage each creature, 2 damage each opponent, or destroy target artifact. A great flexible removal spell basically for us, or opponent removal spell if their life's low enough. Nev's Disc, enters tap, pay 1 tap, sacrifice, destroy, well, not sacrifice, it just destroys itself. Artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. A great panic button for us if we need to. Anzrag's Rampage, destroy all artifacts you don't control, exile the top X card of your library, X number of artifacts are put there from graveyard or the battlefield, put a creature card for free right on the battlefield. It gains haste, then you bring it back to your hand, but still, you got it out for free. Absolutely lovely. Rampaging War Mammoth, Trampler 9/7 that you can cycle it away though, destroy to X target artifacts when you need to, and then Blasphemous Act, yeah, great way to clear the board, costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, so basically this costs a single red mana typically, 13 damage each creature to wipe things out when you need to. When it comes to ramp, of course, first up there's Wayfarer's Bauble, pay 2 taps, sacrifice, get a basic land and play tap, Everflowing Chalice, a very flexible mana rock, 2 taps for 1, 4 taps for 2, etc, etc, etc. Arcane Signet, very simple, very effective, cost 2, taps for a color, cool, good for us. Cold Steel Heart, cost 2, enters tapped, we choose a red, it taps for a red. Fire Diamond, exact same thing. Fractured Power Stone, taps for a colorless, or yeah, we can roll a planar die. No, we can't do that. Anyways, Mind Stone, tap for a colorless, pay 1 tap, sacrifice, draw a card. The Iron Crag, taps for a colorless, and by the way, whenever a legendary creature is battlefield our control, becomes a legendary equipment if we want, and then we can pay 3 and attach it to lose all our abilities. Cool, alright, cool, awesome. Worn Power Stone, enters tap, taps for 2. Gilded Lotus, an amazing mana rock, tap for 3, cost 5, a great boost of mana for us. Really quickly, though, let's go through some great lands for us as well. Access Tunnel, tap for a ghost, or pay 3, tap target creature power 3 or less, can't be blocked this turn. Again, we've got some attack triggers that we can utilize, get creatures through for free. Ash Barrens, basic land cycle away for a single mana. Vishkar Raceway, it's got max speed, pay 3, tap, discard a card, draw a card. Again, a great way to trigger our commander as well. Capital City, taps for colors, or you can pay 1 mana, tap, and filter it, or cycle away for 2. Desert of the Fervent, cycle away for 2 as well. Forgotten Cave, cycle away for, well, 1. Awesome. Rogue's Passage, tap for a ghost, or pay 4, tap, and target creature can be blocked this turn. Again, a lot of great ways to get creatures through. Smoldering Crater, pay 2, cycle it away. And with that, this episode is come to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.